A new decade is upon us, and Hollywood's major studios have lined up a slew of projects to compete for the top spot. Some of the upcoming movies on the calendar are highly anticipated sequels, but that isn't all we're expecting to see this year. The studios have also set up new adaptations of existing properties and all manner of would-be blockbusters, making sure that this is an amazing year for the film industry and especially the fans. It's never too early to start thinking about how you'll be spending your time at the theater in the months to come. So here's a list of the best movies to watch in 2020. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Dolittle, initial release January 1st. Dolittle is a 2020 American fantasy adventure film directed by Stephen Gaghan. A reboot of the Dr. Dolittle films, the film is based on the titular character created by Hugh Lofting and primarily inspired by the voyages of Dr. Dolittle. Robert Downey Jr. stars as the title character, alongside Antonio Banderas and Michael Sheen in live-action roles. The voice cast includes some of the best actors and actresses out there, including Emma Thompson, Rami Malek, John Cena, Kumail Nanjiani, Tom Holland, Selena Gomez, and many more. The project was announced in March 2017, with Downey Jr. set to star, and the rest of the cast joined over the following year. Underwater, initial release January 8th. Underwater, which stars Kristen Stewart and Vincent Cassel, is a welcome throwback to a movie mini-genre we haven't seen in 30 years, The Underwater Alien Imitator. The storyline of the movie is quite interesting. A crew of underwater researchers must scramble to safety after an earthquake devastates their subterranean laboratory. But according to the reviews, Underwater's strong cast and stylish direction aren't enough to distract from the strong sense of déjà vu provoked by this claustrophobic thriller's derivative story. Kristen Stewart is lean, intense, and taciturn in this aquatic alien attempt. Directed by William Eubank, this movie is a must-watch for every Kristen Stewart fan. Bad Boys for Life, initial release January 7th. Bad Boys for Life brings back this long-dormant franchise to life. Bad Boys for Life is a 2020 American action comedy film starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence and is the sequel to Bad Boys 2 in the Bad Boys franchise. The film follows detectives Mike Lowry, who is played by Smith, and Marcus Burnett, played by Lawrence, reuniting once again when someone starts murdering people involved in an old case. A third Bad Boys film was discussed after the success of the second, with Michael Bay stating he would be interested in returning to direct, but budget constraints would make it difficult. The film went through several attempts at development over the next decade. The project was finally announced in October 2018, with the initial release date as January 7, 2020. Birds of Prey, initial release February 7th. We recently witnessed Margot Robbie steal the spotlight in her female lead role in Quentin Tarantino's 9th movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But we all remember her in Suicide Squad getting in all kinds of trouble and running riot with the group. What happens when she joins Birds of Prey, DC's all-ladies team of adventurers? Sheer, unadulterated mayhem. Along for the ride will be Journey Smollett-Bell and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is cast as Black Canary and Huntress respectively, and Rosie Perez playing Renee Montoya. They will face off against Ewan McGregor as the Black Mask in one of the most awaited DCU movies ever. Mark your calendars because Harley Quinn is coming back to steal the show on February 7th. Sonic the Hedgehog, initial release February 9th. Our beloved childhood character Sonic is finally getting his solo movie coming to the big screen on February 14th. The movie was supposed to be released sooner in 2019 as the first trailer was released a while back, but it upset many Sonic fans around the globe because they didn't like the blue hedgehog look. This led to the pushback from its original release date. But on the plus side, those same fans were all about Jim Carrey as the villain Dr. Robotnik. An updated trailer featured a redesigned Sonic that was released in November of 2019 was met with wholehearted approval from fans. So here's hoping the rest of the film lives up to the hype. Bloodshot, initial release February 20th. In February 2020, the Fast and the Furious lead actor Vin Diesel steps into the lead role in Sony's ultra-violent Bloodshot movie. Adapted from Valiant Comics' successful comic series, the movie is about a mortally wounded soldier resurrected with cutting-edge nanotechnology and tasked with rounding up superpowered outcasts known as Harbingers. The comic premiered at Valiant in 1993, running for 110 issues with upwards of 7.5 million copies sold. The movie is filled by visual effects artist and first-time director Dave Wilson, who directed Avengers: Age of Ultron and will co-star Isa Gonzalez, Michael Sheen, Toby Kebbell, and Sam Heughan. Mulan, initial release March 25th. Children of the 90s still love the original animated film about a young woman who fights in the Chinese army to defend her family. Disney is set to turn it into a live-action epic in 2020, debuting an updated version of Mulan. The movie, which was initially set to be released in 2018 but later pushed back, is directed by the Zookeeper's wife, Nikki Caro, based on a script from Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver. You probably know them from Jurassic World. It took Disney a year of searching across the world to find its star. They eventually landed on Chinese actress Liu Yifei, also known as Crystal Liu. Liu is one of China's most popular actresses and is nicknamed Fairy Sister due to her innocent persona. G.I. Joe, Ever Vigilant. Initial release, March 27th. Hasbro's Real American Heroes will return to the big screen in 2020 for G.I. Joe, Ever Vigilant. Although who will star in this action flick is still not official. Paramount is set to release the third film in the franchise 7 years after the release of the second movie. The studio is reportedly keen on getting Dwayne Johnson back to reprise his Retaliation role as Roadblock. It is unclear yet whether any of the other Joe stars like Channing Tatum or Bruce Willis will return for the sequel, but DJ Caruso has been attached to direct for most of the project's development. No matter which route they go down, the franchise's past outings have combined action and adventure, and the third shouldn't be any exception. Fast and Furious 9. Initial release May 22nd. Fast and Furious 9 is an upcoming American action film directed by Justin Lin and written by Daniel Casey. A sequel to the 2017's The Fate of the Furious, it will be the 9th installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. The movie will have the original Fast and Furious cast with a few additions, including John Cena. Fast and Furious 9 is scheduled to be theatrically released in the United States on May 22, 2020 by Universal Pictures. The plot for this movie is still unknown, but we know it'll be something amazing as we've all been waiting for the crew to come back and cause havoc. Black Widow. Initial release April 24th. The first Marvel property to kick off its Phase 4 will be this prequel focusing on Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff, and deservingly so. We've all waited for a Black Widow solo movie for long enough, and it's finally happening. We don't quite know what the story surrounding the character will be, but we do know that she'll be joined by David Harbour, Rachel Weisz, and rising star Florence Pugh, among others. And who knows, maybe Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye will make an appearance. The Black Widow character isn't complete without the partnership of Hawkeye. One person we know for sure to make a cameo appearance is Nick Fury. Wonder Woman 1984. Initial release date June 4th. 2017's Wonder Woman is the most critically acclaimed movie in the DC Extended Universe by a wide margin. Diana's second solo adventure has seen many delays. However, the movie was pushed back from its original 2019 holiday season release to June 5, 2020. Filling in part of the timeline between the first movie's World War I setting and the hero's reemergence in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, Wonder Woman 1984 will see the return of Godot, Chris Pine, Robin Wright, and director Patty Jenkins. SNL alum Kristen Wiig joins the fray as Nemesis Cheetah, while The Mandalorian's Pedro Pascal pulls the strings as evil Maxwell Lord. Venom 2. Initial release October 2nd. Venom may not have been a critical success, but it wasn't long after its 2018 release that rumors began to circulate regarding the film's inevitable sequel. That was confirmed in January 2019, and by August, Andy Serkis had signed on as the film's director. Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, and Michelle Williams will all return for Sony's second round with the famous Marvel symbiote. While Naomi Harris is rumored to be taking on the role of Shriek. If the rumors are true, that could mean big things for Sony's Spider-Verse. How the whole thing inevitably unfolds will likely have a lot to do with the fragile relationship between Sony and Marvel, but if the two studios do manage to work things out, Venom 2 could be setting up the framework for a huge crossover. Godzilla vs. Kong. Initial release November 20th. Film fans will finally get the answer to an age-old question in 2020 when Godzilla and King Kong face off on the big screen. Director Adam Wingard has already assured fans that his take on the two monsters will crown a definitive winner, unlike the 1962 film that first pit the two characters against each other. This will be the fourth entry in Legendary's MonsterVerse, first established in 2014's Godzilla. Godzilla vs. Kong is the biggest project yet for Wingard. The movie will also feature an impressive assembly of human actors. Stranger Things' Millie Bobby Brown will reprise her King of Monsters role, with Denai Guerrera and Julian Dennison also attached to star. That's our list of the best movies to watch in 2020. Which ones are you waiting for the most? Tell us in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.